Don't forget to check the chapters for all PSVR2 games on sale, and a warm welcome aboard to Brazil, India, and New Zealand. The hit VR first-person shooter survival game is Into the Radius, and it's 34% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 6% more, making it 40% off total. And like a Resident Evil or a Gran Turismo, this is considered an absolute must-have for your PSVR2 library. Over 1,300 people have rated it 4.6 out of 5 stars, with 90% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. The entire original Into the Radius experience is brought to the PSVR2, complete with new features designed specifically for the headset, including foveated rendering with controller and headset haptic feedback. You find yourself in the middle of the blighted zone, cut from the outside world. Your guns and your wits are all you have left. Fight the deadly enemies, dodge dangerous anomalies, and complete missions on your way to the Radius Center to find your way out. Navigate with your realistic map, plan your route, scout out shelters, uncover loot caches, and try not to get killed. Everyone everywhere is going on about how amazing this is. If anything, I guess it's setting the bar on how VR games should be made. Legendary Tales is a true next-generation dungeon-crawling action role-playing game, and it's 35% off right now. If you're a PlayStation Plus Premium member, you can check out the full game for 2 full hours. Almost 1,700 people have rated it 4.39 out of 5 stars, with 84% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. Built from the ground up for VR, you can choose the adventure alone or explore the mysteries of the corrupted land with a group of friends. And in classic role-playing fashion, you get to choose how you want to take on the quest and what character you want to make. And everything that I'm showing you in this trailer here totally looks like it's utilizing the VR medium to its fullest. Absolutely awesome. This has the full-fledged physics-based fighting system. You'll have random number-generated items give you the opportunity to collect and try out an almost limitless number of weapons. And this has the full-fledged experience points with crafting system. As you're leveling up, you're upgrading your equipment and weapons. A complete attribute system and skill tree provide a whole set of skills and abilities to work your way through and build a character that reflects your personal playstyle. And after easily playing for 8 hours by myself, I was digging the incredible physics-based combat, and while leveling up my character, I'm just blown away at the overwhelmingly awesome skill tree and the depth of character creation offered here. Truly good stuff. The only thing I really dislike and sticks out like a sore thumb to me is that there isn't an option to decouple the head, which is offered in almost all VR games now. What a bummer.
There, he's awake.
The most incredible climbing simulator that wowed us from the very beginning, Horizon Call of the Mountain, is currently 29% off. Almost 8,800 people have rated it 4.38 out of 5 stars, with 84% scoring this 4 or 5 out of 5. And like many others, this was my very first PSVR2 experience, and I gotta say, even after seeing trailers for this game, until you put the headset on and see this for yourself, it really is hard to put into words other than out of this world. That said, coming out of both Horizon games on the flat screen, I do have to manage expectations and let everyone know that this is truly an amazing climbing simulator that captures the lore beautifully, but falls flat on the combat side of things compared to what we know Aloy is truly capable of when it comes to the flat screen experience. Especially now that I've played Hellsweeper and I'm aware that Horizon's original mechanics could have been easily implemented here with no compromise whatsoever. Hellsweeper really is a testament of what's possible for combat in VR. What I didn't expect was the absolute sense of terror from my newfound fear of heights. No joke, this game pushed me hard when many times I felt completely petrified, like paralyzed in fear from how real it felt at those heights. Oh, fuck. I don't want to do that. And that is absolutely incredible, as it goes to show you how the PSVR2 is an entirely different experience altogether. I think the game took me about 8 hours to get through in completion, and I'm happy I finished it, but I do wish that combat was way more polished, as those sections actually made me feel like I was pushing through them than being excited for them. Still, again, it's an incredible experience. 90% of the game is just so awesome. The one thing I would recommend right off the bat is going into your settings and changing your aim style to have both hands instead of the eye tracking if you want the most realistic experience. Again, don't get me wrong, eye tracking is really cool, but here it's essentially auto aim. You're just looking at the target and then you pull the bow and it always hits that spot, whereas when you have it for your both hands, that's simulating the real experience here. Let the music move as you catch notes, ride the rails, and dodge obstacles in Synth Riders, and it's 40% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 50% off total. Almost 1,600 people have rated this 4.67 out of 5 stars, with 93% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And I can totally understand why, because this is my favorite music-based rhythm game to date. And just to reiterate, that PSVR2 upgrade is such an amazing difference. I do feel that this game needs to be in every PSVR2 owner's library. That said, if you're a PlayStation Plus Premium or Deluxe member, this game is no longer a part of your catalog as of May 20th, so this may be the time to get it. Really quick, the game is super simple to play. You have 2 balls as your hands, 1 of each color. You have to connect that ball with the same color ball on screen. And then you have these tracks that you're just having the ball hit, and you follow that track. Super simple stuff. However, when you hit a ball, connecting it, and you hit it dead on, you'll get more points. And then you can add modifiers with force, giving you more points. So the more power you put into it, the more points you'll get out of it. When you see a yellow ball, all you're doing is connecting both hands together, and that makes yellow. When you see a green ball, you get to choose left or right hand, and you have to finish the rest of the greens with that same hand. That is it. That's the whole game, aside from dodging any panel that comes your way, forcing you to dance and move your body. And unlike any other game, I really felt that the more I danced with the music, because I don't dance at all in real life, the easier the game became. So instead of just, being rigid and stiff, you can see I just totally let go, and all of a sudden everything started working. So amazing, so kick-ass, such a great workout, so much fun. Submerge yourself in a world of magic, invaded by deadly machines and enemies, full of traps and dangers in Ven VR Adventure, and it's 50% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 60% off total. 330 people have rated it 4.22 out of 5 stars, with 81% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And this is quite simply a classic platformer where you control the hero then as you try to help save his world and all of his little companions along the way. And with that, the general consensus online is that this game is an all-around good platformer, but don't expect the same charm or fun factor as an Astrobot or Max Mustard. That said, I've never played the game before, so I can't speak to it from personal experience. Anyone in the comments, if you own it, played it, loved it, or hate it, please let us know if we should grab this at that awesome sale price. And to celebrate 30 years of PlayStation, C-Smash VRS New Dimensions is currently 20% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 20% more, making it 40% off total. Over 570 people rated it 4.01 out of 5 stars, with 69% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. 2 new music tracks have been added by Pizza Hotline, and a Wipeout Insider new time attack mode has also been included. Now, not only can you play crossplay, this is crossplay with flat screen players. So now everyone can get in on the C-Smash VRS action. Wow, the audience just got massive there. And I can't believe this game was originally made for the Sega Dreamcast back in like the year 2000. And to think that this was not made for VR blows me away. And to have this now reimagined, redefined in VR is so awesome. I absolutely love the ping pong, the pickleball, the badminton. So to see this game in VR, immediately I was drawn to it. However, the only weird factor is that it's in low gravity. I do wish ultimately they would include like a real gravity mode. I know the whole premise is based on this low gravity thing, but everything about it is awesome. But I did play it for hours. I did not get to play any online co-op mode, which I do think would be so much fun. And for all of you single players out there, me included, what really appealed to me is that there's so many challenges in this. Having these massive panels floating around the entire area, and then you have to use your accuracy and your skill to hit these things, just feels so satisfying. You can use your left stick to horizontally slide left and right around the area, because I will not move around my room. No way, man. Just swinging my arm is good enough. And there are some power-ups that you can acquire throughout the game that are on your racket specifically. You can play standing, seated, 1 or 2 left or right-handed. And the actual dynamic music, the original tracks are so well done. It's just got such a unique feel to the game. It's amazing. And if you're unsure whether or not the game's for you, you can get the demo on the PlayStation Store right now. Explore a groundbreaking sci-fi world where your dialogue choices shape the narrative of the story as you must choose whose side you're on in Journey to Foundation, and it's 50% off. Over 200 people rated it 3.9 out of 5 stars, with 71% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. This is a story-driven adventure where you play as Ward, an intergalactic agent with unique metallic powers who must go undercover on a mission that will determine the future of humanity. Will you stay loyal to a crumbling empire or forge a new future in the Foundation? Faithfully and lovingly adapted from Isaac Asimov's groundbreaking novels and built from the ground up for VR, Journey to Foundation is a gripping narrative adventure unlike anything else you can find in VR. In this game, you're going to interact with over 90 fully voiced characters brought to life by top-tier voice casting. Befriend or double-cross people, choose who lives and dies, and help determine factions rise or fall in a branching story that reacts to your decisions. Awesome! Reach minds, influence emotions, and destroy your enemies with metallic powers. Participate in the drama through an immersive conversation system where you make gestures, look for hidden dialogue choices, and interact with objects. Very cool. Use your upgradable fusion blaster, plasma torch, hacking tool, and disguise tech to infiltrate a variety of breathtaking environments. This is available with full voice acting and text in English, Spanish, German, and French. Amazing. I still cannot get over every time I read this description. Whenever I watch this trailer, this game is not receiving a 4 at the bare minimum. I'm really surprised by that. Anyone in the comments section, is this game just not getting any of the love and attention that it deserves? Or is there something glitchy or buggy or just not fun about it? Please speak to this in the comments section. That'd be great.
Epsilon, come in. Get out of there ASAP. Now. Run!
Red Matter has been heavily upgraded for the PSVR2 and it's 30% off. Almost 1,500 people have rated it 4.68 out of 5 stars, with 94% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. As Agent Epsilon in Red Matter, you'll investigate a top-secret research project on Rhea, one of Saturn's moons, decipher hidden messages and mechanisms using an array of high-tech tools in a surreal, high-detail, brutalist environment. But beware, the truth you uncover may be darker than you ever imagined. And I have to say, I did just play this again for the first time on the PSVR2, and I felt like the entire game looked much better, and that could have been just because everything was sharp and clean at the 4K HDR OLED display here. But the room scale, me walking around freely, full 360, being able to interact with everything with no tracking issues whatsoever, the adaptive triggers, the controls, everything just felt way better. So yes, even though you might have played this on the PSVR 1 a long time ago, there is a free upgrade for Red Matter 1. I do highly recommend you put it in and play it for a couple more hours, play it all over, and then go play Red Matter 2.
The eye sees everything. Unhappy interface robot 1984. You are by the order. Vanished from the program.
For the first time ever on sale, Jeff Minter is back with another unique take on a 1980s Atari arcade game, iRobot, and it's currently 20% off. Only 54 people have rated this, 4.76 out of 5 stars, with 94% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. Right on. The premise of iRobot is simple. You take control of an ox-headed robot on a mission to outwit the all-seeing eye and 55 levels to conquer. In each level, you'll navigate across tiles, flipping each tile to proceed to the next, with the music building up as you rack up a high score. Just be sure you don't jump while the eye's watching, or you'll be zapped away in a flash. If you're able to make it across all the tiles, you'll then race down a tube in a bonus round, blasting away any enemy shapes that move in your path trying to stop you. And you have to do all of this inside of the 3D space of Minter's kaleidoscopic visualizer, which looks super trippy. And if you want to take a break from the arcade action, jump into the Ungames, where you can channel your inner Jeff Minter and play around with all the sights and sounds from the game. Very interesting. Anyone out there, if you own this, played it, loved it, or hate it, please let us know in the comments whether or not we should grab this at that sale price.
iRobot. Available now.
Newbie, I heard about you on the news.
The cartoon comedy Border Agent Simulator, BorderBots VR, is currently 50% off. 115 people rated this, 4.54 out of 5 stars, with 92% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And quite simply, this is a puzzle simulation set on a future Earth where AI is in control. As a human border agent, you begin a new role as a booth operator at an AI travel border. Interact and check over a variety of robots as they try to get through security. Some of their credentials might not be up to scratch, and it's up to you to make sure that they get the stamp of approval. And this game is actually supposed to be quite funny to play. I have not experienced this before, but again, just reading general reviews, most people leave this game quite happy. I personally have been putting this game off because it does remind me a lot about Job Simulator, but I've heard that it is not Job Simulator. So again, anyone in the comment section that wants to speak to this game, please do let us know whether or not we should get this at the sale price.
Eastland Nublar. It's like coming home.
Use stealth while solving puzzles to survive the horrors of Jurassic World Aftermath Collection, and it's 85% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 90% off total. Over 700 people have rated this 3.81 out of 5 stars, with 66% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 10% did give this 1 star. The plot is set between Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and this game is fully voice acted, featuring Laura Bailey and Jeff Goldblum. And quite simply, this is a collection of episodes that were released, I think, on the Quest or PCVR before, all in one game now, enhanced for PSVR2. In the beginning, you crash land near the Jurassic World theme park and find yourself trapped in an abandoned research facility when their mission to recover valuable information goes disastrously wrong. And after getting this game during the holiday sale at the exact same sale price, I was really surprised at how good the game looked, sounded, felt, and generally played all together. I was also surprised with how long the game took to complete, which was around 8 hours. I do think if you're a fan of the franchise, you would totally want to experience this stealth survival game, especially on the PSVR2, but the plot is nothing complicated and has its own unique flavor as a side story. Even though I do think the game would have been way scarier with today's tech if it looked more realistic like Resident Evil, fortunately, all cartoons really do look awesome on that 4K HDR OLED display. And just for a couple bucks, man, I can easily recommend this, but not at the regular price. To be honest, and to manage expectations, the puzzles were extremely easy, and I can't really call them puzzles. Only once I was truly stumped for a while, and that stood out to me. Also, I highly recommend that you play this in room scale and physically crouch, crawl, and hide under desks if you can, as it absolutely adds to the fear and immersion of this game. Let's go movement first. Orientation, hands. So yes, that is room scale when you're turning with your body. But you can move and turn looking, but keeping your left arm straight the entire time. When I move it with my head, that's what turns my body. And how smooth that is to move. Amazing. All games. Even though the game doesn't look really scary, it can get pretty tense if you play this way. And this game is all about sneaking and surviving. So yeah, I have to push you guys to play this way if you can. Nice. I escaped intact.
In 1987, they were badass. In 2023, nothing has changed.
The iconic action rail shooter from the 80s is back in Operation Wolf Returns First Mission VR, and it's 60% off. Over 200 people have rated this 3.76 out of 5 stars, with 64% giving it 4 or 5 out of 5, but 10% did give this 1 star. You know, if you're an old school gamer like me, you have no expectations other than shooting everything that comes on screen constantly. That's what I'm seeing here in the trailers. So unless the game's buggy, glitchy, or just not fun, I have no idea. Again, anyone in the comments section, please speak up to this. If you're an old school gamer, you played the arcade games back in the day, is this living up to the old school 80s classic feel? Because if that's doing it justice, then man, you know, I'm totally sold right then and there. The story is, a few months ago, a new criminal organization made its appearance. In addition to trafficking arms and drugs, it was developing a new, super powerful weapon. After discovering several of the bases of the organization, led by the mysterious General Viper, 2 agents are dispatched to learn more about this weapon and free the hostages held in the surrounding camps. And that's all you need for a story, man. Literally classic 80s arcade action. But unlike a Crisis Brigade, where I'm used to being able to stand in my environment and use the virtual environment to take cover, I don't get that sense in this game whatsoever. I think I'm just standing completely open, constantly trying to take people out before I get shot, or shooting projectiles that come at me. In the future, toy companies want to expand and assist the military using toy mechs to train for battle in Mecha Party, and it's 50% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 20% more, making it 70% off total. Only 52 people have rated it 3.75 out of 5 stars, with 65% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5, but 27% gave it 1 or 2 stars. This legit supports up to 3 versus 3 and has seasoned player versus player combat, from long range shooting to melee combat, mechas have a variety of skills. It totally reminds me of that game called Overwatch. I've never played it before, but that is the multiplayer online battle arena type game. The story goes that it's the 21st century and robotics have taken the world by storm with robots and AI and are ever present in people's daily lives. Interesting. Toy companies, having recognized the true potential of this technological wonder, have introduced robot model toys equipped with state-of-the-art VR operating systems, allowing users to immerse themselves in epic virtual battles. Simultaneously, players are assisting the development of AI combat models in hopes of expanding the business into the military sector, establishing the first ever robot battle league, the Mecha Party. So that's really weird because we're almost there. Literally, I'm playing VR. I don't know if I'm assisting the military by accident or not. It kind of reminds me of that Arrested Development episode where Buster's, taking down people with drones, not realizing he's not playing a video game.
And his childlike inability to distinguish between games and reality.
Feel the finesse of your swing, jab, and hooks in Beat the Beats VR, and it's 33% off. Almost 600 people have rated this 3.44 out of 5 stars, with 56% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5, but 27% gave this 1 star. Use actual boxing moves like crosses, rolls, and uppercuts to blast your way through a series of electrifying musical levels and climb the leaderboards. Unlock new genres, complete daily challenges, and build your skill in rhythm boxing. For the serious competitor, there's also an extra challenging B-side for each track that'll make you sweat to master. So it does tout to have a lot of replayability, but if you're unsure, you can check out the Beat the Beats VR demo on the PlayStation Store right now. Awesome Asteroids pays homage to the arcade classics, and it's 50% off right now. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 15% more, making it 65% off total. Over 130 people have rated it 3.22 out of 5 stars with a completely mixed bag here. Quite simply, you'll blast through waves of asteroids using lasers, rockets, and Gatling guns while trying to keep bases and other structures from taking damage. Grab shield power-ups to charge your shields, which will protect you from asteroids and mines. You'll need to take out enemy ships before they can destroy your bases while avoiding their defenses. So that is super simple. Whether or not it's fun using the HOTAS, I do believe this game was touting to have the eye tracking, so you just look and it automatically locks on to fire. But yeah, again, I'm not too sure whether or not it's fun to play. Again, anyone in the comment section that wants to speak to it, please do. For those of you that remember the Mega Man, this one's called System Critical 2, and it's currently 90% off right now. Over 240 people have rated this 4 out of 5 stars, with 72% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 17% did give this 1 star. And that said, from personal experience, I have put in a few hours into this already. I'm probably 1/3 of the way through, and even though I'm always open-minded to what I'm about to play, I did go in and I felt like I was kind of pushing myself through it. The challenge and the difficulty is absolutely there. It was okay to move around, okay to shoot, but the game feels okay to me. Even at 90% off for a few bucks, that's really still hard for me to recommend when I haven't gone back to play the rest of the game personally. So it's not that it was buggy or glitchy. I didn't feel like I had to keep going back. I felt like I actually had to cover it and continue going through it. But maybe the game picks up halfway through, I have no idea. Anyone who owns the game has beaten System Critical 2. Can you let us know whether or not everyone should get this game at the sale price? Personally, I'm saying right now, no, I would hold off. I mean, even at a few bucks, I still feel like you could put it towards another game and get a lot more value out of it. But at a few bucks, you may roll the dice, see if you like it or not. But definitely, it's not a next-gen VR experience. No way.
Life, it can be a never-ending race.
Are you ready to smash some balls in VR? Black Hole Pool claims to be the ultimate pool billiards VR experience with the most accurate physics, and it's 25% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 15% more, making it 40% off total. Only 26 people have rated it so far, 4.08 out of 5 stars, with 85% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. But the remaining 15% did give this 1 star. There are many ways to enjoy the beautiful world of pool. First, the Hustle Bar is a social place where players from all around the world meet to play for virtual stakes. Collect coins and spend them on cool accessories or a drink at the bar. And if you're feeling competitive, you can play for ELO points in the ranked room against randomly matched opponents to climb the leaderboard and become the best. Finally, the VIP room is an invite-only place for you and your friends to chill out and shoot some balls. Of course, you can always just practice on an AI opponent in the practice room if you want to build your skills first. On top of that, you'll collect experience points to unlock cool accessories like cues, ball sets, and felt. Yeah, that totally sounds awesome, as I do love the pool and grew up with a snooker table in the house, which unfortunately I don't see any other game modes listed here like snooker or 9-ball. Anyone in the comment section, if you play pool in real life and have played this game, does Black Hole Pool do the actual game justice? Please let us know in the comment section, that would be great. Suicide Guy is back in VR in Suicide Guy VR Deluxe Edition, and it's 60% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 65% off total. Over 240 people have rated it 2.45 out of 5 stars, with a quarter of them giving it 5 out of 5, but under half the audience gave this 1 star. This is a puzzle-based game where I believe you're always falling asleep and you're trying to wake up from your nightmare by solving the puzzle and essentially committing suicide, I think. The actual store description says, find out the new custom levels that take full advantage of VR. Will your heart be able to take all these deaths at once? It's a first-person puzzle game like no other, where you'll have to find the way out of your own dreams using objects and tools that you'll obtain during your nap. This touts that it features new awesome levels that take full advantage of VR, full body locomotion, total physics control of all items, new incredible moves, be able to pick up items, throw them, activate mechanisms, and even burp. I'm assuming there was a flat screen game for this, and this is the VR description. A driving system designed for VR, teleport movement style extra option, and an important mission to accomplish. And the deluxe version just simply states that it was redesigned for PSVR2, taking advantage of the new controls, but really not much more specific than that. Solve a mystery of the famous detective in this VR escape room called The Murder of Sherlock Holmes, and it's 70% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 75% off total. Only 40 people have rated it 1.8 out of 5 stars, with 70% giving this 1 star, but 13% did give this 5 out of 5. What happened here, man? I gotta check this out sooner than later, because I am genuinely interested in the whole premise of the actual game and how you can interact with everything. And that's what makes VR uniquely special. So to see that rating and to know this game offers us, I want to know what's going on. Is it glitchy? Does it not work? Are the controls janky? Anyone in the comment section, if you can speak to this game, please let us know. Why did the score so low? What's going on? Is it too short of a game? I'm genuinely curious. And for the first time ever on sale, Extreme Off-Road Racing VR is another game I've never even heard about and can't speak to from personal experience, but it's currently 80% off right now. Over 7,300 people have rated this, and the PS4 flat screen version combined 3.67 out of 5 stars, with 58% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 18% did give this 1 star. That said, I highly recommend you check out Without Parole's quick 2 or 3 minute review of the game, as I absolutely appreciate his breakdown and what you should expect if you buy this game. I'll be sure to leave a link in the description for that video, and if you want to see how this game plays for yourself, I also recommend you get the Extreme Off-Road Racing VR demo on the PlayStation Store right now. And the game with currently the worst PSVR2 rating on the PlayStation Store, this is Flight Simulator Delivery 2025, and it's currently 30% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 35% off total. 335 people have already rated this 1.36 out of 5 stars, with 84% of the audience giving this 1 star, and the rest completely mixed there. I've never played the game and have no desire to, as I would instantly recommend getting Ultra Wings 2, and of course Aces of Thunder whenever that comes out. But I do have to give a shout out to Jammyhero for doing this video you're seeing here in the thumbnail, going over what's truly unacceptable on the PlayStation Store right now, with a couple games that are falsely advertising game mechanics within their trailers that aren't actually in their game. Super shitty. I highly recommend you guys check out Jammyhero's video if you haven't already, and his channel for everything PSVR2 pretty much daily. And props to Jammy for leading me to check out MrDeathwishVR's channel by showing his actual gameplay footage for Flight Sim 2025. I totally enjoyed MrDeathwishVR's impressions, showing exactly what's wrong with the game in just a couple minutes and giving me everything I needed to know. Awesome. That said, everyone, I highly recommend you check out MrDeathwishVR's video on this so you can see for yourself why you should totally avoid the game. I'll leave links in the description for both his video and Jammyhero's. Thanks so much to the two of them for spreading the word so we don't accidentally waste our time and money. Very much appreciated. That said, that is all the games that are currently on sale until Wednesday, June 4th. And if you guys like the video or any of the sales videos that I produce, please click that like button. And if y'all love what I'm doing with the channel, please subscribe to it. And for all of you that have subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. I super appreciate it. Until the next one.